Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel here. Glad you are tuning in for this one. Happy June to you. We're going to be doing today's recap, and I'm excited to start out a new month. I had a pretty excellent weekend. I actually had a hockey tournament out in Houston, and it was a whole bunch of fun. We won our first game, however, we lost our last three, so it was pretty tough, but it was still a good time. But back here now, and I'm ready to be giving you guys my recap for today. Fresh new start to the month here. I'm happy to say I'm up $475, which is a, from all of last month, I feel like it's a good start in the right direction. It's not, a huge massive number, but hey, I will definitely take this kind of money as often I can get it. So, I think today actually shows you that, I don't know, it kind of reflects small cap market for me. The fact that I'm up green 475 tells me that there was some opportunities in the market, and there definitely was. Today I traded OEG and WPG, as well as just the other one trade on VTNR. We'll get into that, but yeah, both OEG and WPG were over 100% gain today. So that right there is plenty of great opportunity, and that's what I needed for today for sure. And you know what? To be honest, I still screwed up. There's a lot of spots where I didn't trade well. I made bad mistakes, but with having enough opportunity and being able to get in, get out with my momentum trades and scalp trades, I could put some decent green on the table today. So let's go ahead, dive into the recap. I'll show you guys what I traded. So first off, let's show the performance here. Now this chart kind of shows my progression through the day, and a lot of you actually ask about this chart here and what software I'm using. This is actually just Google Sheets, so I actually manually input my progress throughout the day. So I like to do this to give myself just a bit of a breather. So as soon as I make a trade, green or red, I plug it in here and just show kind of my running intraday balance on the left hand side here. So yeah, just manually plugging these in, and I also put in the ticker name so I know kind of how I got to that position. But anyways, yeah, this is just a manual setup, and I like to do it. It can be a little tricky sometimes because if I'm in and out of a trade and I want to hop right back in, I've got to come over back to my chart and still log it. So it's not always perfect here, but it's a great thing that I like to do myself, just to see how my progress went, and where along the line the tickers changed and what happened. So anyways, this was today's progress. I was just frustrating out of the gate. I was up 32, then down, and then 2 trades up in the right direction was positive, and then I had a nasty red one. So bouncing around here, and that kind of drives me crazy, going from red to green to red to green. But eventually I was able to make a bunch of small trades, work in the right direction, finally get out of the hole, go positive, and from there I did a pretty decent job, got up to 391, and then started backtracking, and then was able to work back up. Now that is all because I think there was plenty of opportunities. In the past month, there were plenty of times where the days were either slow or choppy, and there wasn't as much opportunity, so I would be stuck in these positions where I couldn't take the extra trade to get back in the right direction, and sometimes I'd end up going even more red. So anyways, moral of the story today was that there was plenty of opportunity, 2 stocks over 100% gain. That's what I like to see, and I didn't perform perfectly, but I did, get it in the right direction. So OEG was the first one. VTNR. This is where I kind of made a vital mistake. So I'll show you this one in a sec, and then we'll show you the other two, OEG and or WPG were the main two ones that I was trading all day. So real quick, VTNR, here we go. This is where I went in for a trade here. Now, I wanted to trade VTNR because in the last couple days, last week, this thing was just skyrocketing, and it had a lot of big moves in there. They're really volatile. I did have some hesitations on it because the thing was just crazy volatile. Like on this particular day here, this whole move here drove me nuts. It was a crazy... This stock is just super volatile, and it always seems to, like, the following day seem to gap up. But well, who knows how long that'll last? Maybe tomorrow it might be, you know, gapping down. We don't know, or hey, it could be gapping back up again. But anyways, on today's trend, I tried to get in here as the market opened. I actually missed a little bit of this move. It had a nice spike and then consolidated, went down. Came back up, and I thought, okay, here's an opportunity. If we break kind of this area, let me jump in just a smidge early and maybe try to capture that next leg up. So I jumped in at like, let me see, I think it was 10:37. So I hopped in 10:37 for the next move, and it flashes down. So, and my problem with this is that I fell back into my bad mistake of holding it, wait for a curl, and that was just not doing me any justice. I should have just cut it early. Instead, I let it crumble all the way down to what, 961. I had to put in a market order to bail out of this thing, which was right in here. So I did cut it, and I'm glad I did cut it because it went even further down. So I don't know, just a whole bad move there. I was down 194 at that point on the day, and from there I kind of switched over. I did have a trade on ENG. It was just a real quick one. It was a green one, nice small one that put me in the right direction. But then I switched over to OEG and PWG. So OEG. All right, this one was pretty crazy. So let me know in the comments if you traded this one today. I'd love to hear from you, because to me, this thing for such a long period in the day was in this crazy range. And before, like earlier in the day, before this whole trend, this whole channel made its area, let me see if I can let me grab some doodling stuff for you, see if that helps. Yeah, cool. So yeah, this whole channel right here didn't really get formed until for a while. What am I trying to say? It continued for quite a while throughout the day. And I figured because of the volatility in here, this thing would have either ripped easily past it or down under it, past this area. And it didn't. And it, you know, eventually found a range in here. The problem was, I guess I wasn't seeing what the future was going to hold with this whole range. And so I made a few trades on it, and I actually made quite a few. So I'm not going to go through every single one. Let me see if I can pop out one of my first ones on. Okay, here, 614 at 10:03. Yeah, so I hopped in here for a move. This thing was crazy in the volatility world as well, and it kept doing the same thing. So if you saw the pattern, you could take advantage of it. But I didn't realize how it was going to form initially. And anyways, I got my first trade in 614, hopped out at 639. So I snagged it right at the top there, made a nice quick scalp trade. But the thing was brutal because it would act like it kind of, you know, from here, it did this whole U, fell pretty hard, consolidated, came back up. And I always think kind of in that move that it's going to want to push up, then consolidate again, then push again. if it has, you know, the true strength. But sometimes these markets can be choppy, and this one, you know, was just kind of a reverse play, and it went right back down. So for anybody kind of consolidating here, this is where I made my next big mistake, was hopping in this area thinking there was going to be consolidation with the next move higher, and once again I got bit on the butt on this one, and you know, I had to close out, cut the loss on this one as it was flushing down, and eventually consolidated, came back up, had a little drop. So I mean, you can see just all day long this one was very tricky, because it would come up, it looked like it wanted to kind of push the new area, new territory, and it would just reverse. And this was such a tricky spot here. Look at this. This is a wicked candle. I mean, right in here, you'd think everything is kind of consolidated a bit, and hey, it pushes up a little, or it pushed up a lot, like it wanted to push through, absolutely reverse, and just went the opposite direction in one candle and dropped. Like, look at that range there from 630 to 567. That's just wicked in one candle. So I think there was just, I don't know, quite a bit of manipulation on this stock, and it was just difficult to trade unless you could really spot these trends and realize, hey, when it flushes hard, I'm gonna, you know, try to buy in super low and try to nail that super low dip buy, and then try to ride it to the next you know, level up. But I don't know, it was just too crazy. What was surprising, it did that all day long, and eventually, you know, it made this trend in this area, this whole channel. And right in here, I got a little bit interested in thinking, okay, we might eventually break one of the highs here, but I think if it does, it's gonna run up real fast and then just flush and trap everybody once again. But this was the area that I actually got surprised in, and it held its strength. It actually held its move and consolidated and made another leg up. And so the thing just really took off towards the end of the day here. So I want to hear from you guys if you were able to capitalize on this. I was in this whole area, and I nailed, there was a trade that I nailed, I think it was right in here, where I was kind of anticipating the next, you know, push past the high of the day here in this whole range. Let's call it 698.7. And I hopped in right before it ripped up, and I was able to sell right at the top. I sold super quick, but got a good trade in there. So that's the kind of stuff that really helped me out today. There was continuing opportunities, and had this one, you know, not broken out, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today on my green trades. So it was nice to see that continuation push, and it just kept going, which was really great. But once again, still a little tricky to trust, because seeing this go all day like this and seeing so many flushes on it, I just was kind of expecting at some point it would hit another high and just have a big flush at some point, but it just held. So that was great there. So that was OEG. Let's go over to my last one that I traded today. And I was kind of in between OEG and WPG. This was another one that had a pretty good run on it. And I'll pop over to the yearly chart here and show you this, because as I was watching this, I had trades just kind of all throughout the day on this. And the level I was looking for, we got to this area here where earlier in the day we were looking at the 350 area. So I was thinking, okay, that's kind of an area of resistance. It's in the past, this was kind of that base level over here on, what was it, March 11th. And so I was conscious of that, thinking, okay, it might stop out there and go downhill. If it pushes past that, we might look for another move higher. So that's what I was looking for at that point. It broke it started trading it more and more, which is great. And we got to push all the way up here, which was incredible. It was an incredible run up to 466 area. And that's where I got a little cautious because I did see the previous highs here and thinking, okay, this might be possibly some really potential resistance. And it was able to break through that. So really impressive stuff here today on this one. And yeah, that 460 area, it looks like it 466, it really blew past it. It did have an area here where it pulled back, but I guess that was just a better opportunity to buy in because the thing just continuously ripped. And you know what? I did get a ton of FOMO on the way up on this thing. I got a few scalp trades in there, but I don't know. I think, once again, from the previous month that I've just been a little hesitant, a little fearful of the choppiness. But when these things run like this, you just got to try to capitalize on them. And sometimes it's tough because you don't always trust them and you're thinking there might be a flash, drop on them. But when you see that strength, sometimes you just got to go for it and be conscious of, some of the prior levels of support and resistance. So anyways, this was a great one. Did make some money on this one. And after it got back into this area, I just kind of left it alone. I'm really happy because I didn't go back and try to do any kind of revenge trading on it or anything. And right in here, it consolidated and dropped again. So that was great knowing that, okay, we're on the backside of this move and this thing is kind of done. And felt great just walking away from this. And it did have a tough time. You see all these areas here, it pushed up hard, hit its high of 594 and dropped down quite a bit, but it did come up and it kept retesting all these areas here, 575. So I was watching those pretty heavily, but I'm glad I didn't jump in for any moves to try to break that because it never really did. So that's pretty much WPG. I'll leave it there for you guys on that one, but I want to recap swing trades real quick because I am still holding the AMC, the GME, and the COS swing trade. I've been holding these for probably more than a week now, especially with COS and GME, but AMC, yeah, I'm still holding this one. Today was a little bit kind of boring. We had a nice gap up. Friday was crazy because we ran up high. We hit this area of $36, which was a huge rip up, especially from the gap up in pre-market. But Friday just trended down pretty hard all day long. Pretty rough stuff. But it did gap up today, pre-market, and we had this whole range today. So it hit a peak here, hit this low area, and did a double bounce, the whole W move right here. So that was the area of support now. Bounced off of that and retested some new highs there. So I'm still holding this thing. We're at 35. I don't know where it's going, but I'm hoping it really takes off. And after hours here, look at this. It's 5:15 Central Time, but we're having this excellent push up. So I really like to see that. And we might break this 36 area, which could be huge for the whole AMC move. Let's look at the yearly chart. And as you can see, massive move up. There's a lot of talk going on about this. I hope that all the retail traders can hold strong on this and really start pushing through. And I'm kind of seeing it through. I think I'm gonna keep holding this for a while, and I might even add if we get any serious dips. But once again, don't know where this is going to go. Hoping it goes to the moon, of course. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, look at this. We're now hitting the previous highs back in December of 16 and March of 2015. So Pretty impressive stuff, and I think it you know, it's still got a lot of momentum in it. So, but only time will tell. We'll see what happens. I won't even go over the GME trades. I'm still holding those as well. Anyways, I'm up. I'll just give you my AMC position here. I'm up 152% on that. I'm up 2,700 bucks, and cost basis 1408 is where I sit with AMC. So, cross my fingers on that one. Let me know if you guys are in the AMC move and are holding on to that one for your YOLO move. But yeah, let's well, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys traded well today. Let me know how much you made or how much you lost, and where you fell apart or where you had some success today. But WPG and OEG made my day today, and good opportunities, and glad I traded today. So we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, and that'll be it for now.